Hello everyone, welcome to this series on the history of English literature. And in this video we are going to discuss the development of prose and poetry between the age of Chaucer and Spenser. Poetry, the emergence of the eclogue or pastoral. The pastoral poetry, inspired by classical poets like Virgil and Theocritus, saw its resurgence in England during the 16th century. The eclogue or pastoral form had already gained popularity in Italy, France and Spain before making its appearance in English literature. Barclay's eclogues and Henryson's Robin and Mackine are notable examples from this period. Pastoral poetry often featured idealized shepherds and shepherdesses with names like Colin, Phyllis and Phoebe set against bucolic backgrounds of sheep, meadows and flowers. These works sometimes served as mediums for philosophical and political discourse. Allegory in poetry. Allegory became a prominent device in this era's poetry, but often turned into a mechanical and lifeless form due to the lack of poetic fervor. Poems like Dunbar's Golden Targ and Lydgate's Temple of Glass typically began with dream-like garden settings and introduced characters such as the goddess of love and various personifications of virtues and vices. Despite its elaborate nature, the allegory remained popular and would continue to influence subsequent poets. Development of ballads and carols. The ballad and carol forms evolved significantly during this period, gaining refinement and sophistication. Early roughness gave way to polished works such as the beautiful carol to the Virgin Mary, I Sing of a Maiden, and numerous ballads about Robin Hood and Fair Rosamond. These forms laid the groundwork for the flourishing of English lyrical poetry. Prose, the transmission from Latin to English. Although there were no groundbreaking achievements in prose during this period, it marked the diminishing influence of Latin and the rising prominence of English. Theological works like those of Fisher and Cranmer's English Prayer Book highlighted the growing use of English in religious contexts. Historical prose was exemplified by Capgrave's The Chronicle of England, which adopted a straightforward, business-like style. Philosophical and educational prose. Philosophical prose found representation in Fortescue's The Governance of England and Eliot's The Book Named the Governor, both offering insights into governance and education. Eliot's The Castle of Health also emerged as a notable medical work. The era's translators like Lord Berners, who translated Froissart, contributed significantly to the development of English prose. The evolution of the English Bible. The translation of the Bible into English began as early as the 8th century with Bade's rendition of the Gospel of St. John. Efforts continued through the Old English period, as seen in the Lindisfarne Gospels and Ælfric's prose. The Anglo-Norman period saw a decline in English translation due to the dominance of French and Latin, but Wycliffe's influence in the 14th century led to two complete versions around 1384 and 1388. Tyndale and Coverdale's contributions. William Tyndale, a pivotal figure in Bible translation, faced persecution but produced significant works while in exile. His translation relied directly on Hebrew and Greek texts rather than Latin versions like the Vulgate. Miles Coverdale, following Tyndale, produced the first complete English Bible in 1535, known for its beautiful phrasing and rhythm. Subsequent translations and the Great Bible. The period saw a surge in translations with notable versions including the Thomas Matthew Bible, the Great Bible of 1539, and the Geneva Bible of 1560. Each contributed uniquely to the development of the English Bible. The Geneva Bible, known as the Breeches Bible for its unique rendering of Genesis 3, chapter 7, and the Bishop's Bible of 1568, intended to counter the Geneva Bible's popularity, paved the way for the authorized version of 1611. So this was the discussion on the development of prose and poetry in the era between Chaucer and Spenser. We will meet in the next video and discuss some other topic. Until then, goodbye and thank you.